Are you finding that your body feels overwhelmed and you're having a hard time dealing with stress? Maybe that stress level is something that happened after a big event, or maybe it's something that is slowly just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're feeling like it's snowballing out of control. I'm Dr. Jen Anaker of Anaker Clinics of Chiropractic, and I wanted to chat with you a little bit about stress, what it is, how it plays out into your life, and some things that you can do as well. And so stress, when we're looking at stress, it can be a lot of different things. It could be, some common ones might be, maybe you're having challenges with relationships, finances, or different things that might be going on with demands of your office. There's just a lot of things that can play into stressors. As chiropractors, we define those stressors as the 3 T's: thoughts, toxins, and traumas, or physical, chemical, and emotional. So those emotional stressors might be relationships, your environment, and these are things too, I think that sometimes when I mention the snowballing effect, is that these are things that could have gone on, yes, to last week, last month, but it could have been accumulating over months and years. And some of those things that became your normal, but they were heightened stress, didn't necessarily have to be normal. So let's go back into the 3 T's. Emotional stressors, we defined already. Chemical stressors, those can be the things you eat, the things that maybe you're, taking in as far as a smell. They could be laundry detergent, just lots of different, chemicals that might be in, like I said, something from laundry detergent to the chemicals that are going on in your house or in your workplace. And then the last one is the physical aspect. And so those are obviously the falls or spills. In this day and age, it's a lot of postural things, stuck in that forward posture, which creates stress in your body, which maybe you feel more as muscle tension. But there could also be those traditional falls and spills, car accidents, athletic events, things like that happened as well. And so it is also interesting, I think, to watch, when you have stressors that are going on, you can see how 2 different people might also react to stress. If you are stuck in a traffic jam, you may find that one person is very angry and mad, and it sends them over the top. They wanted to get home, they had something they needed to be home for. And another person might go, hey, this is a great time to be able to listen to a podcast on my drive home. So also your reaction to stress can also play into it as far as what affects one and what affects another. But I would like to give an analogy that we all have this bucket, if you will, and we're going to use water as the analogy for stress. And if you keep filling up that bucket with water or stress, there's going to come a point in time where you have that tipping point. All of a sudden now the water's coming out of the bucket. And so if you don't have some kind of stress management in place, it can be very easy in this day and age to continue to fill. And maybe that tipping point, like as a chiropractor, that tipping point, maybe it's physical. Hey, doc, I bent down and I threw my back out. Well, guess what? You should be able to bend down and tie your shoe. And so there was something that was filling up that bucket, that bending forward became the tipping point, or that, one last thing that your spouse said to you that sent you over the top. It might not have been that one thing. So we need to dive in and figure out some stress management tools, because if you don't take care of your level of stressors and have some good tools around you that you consistently use, even when you're not feeling over the top stressed out, you'll be that much better for it. Because if you let those stressors continue, of course, yes, you can go into the things that you think about with stress, which might be anxiety or depression, but it also affects your gut flora. Stress is certainly a key indicator in things like heart disease, cancers, other things that you can think of as far as diseases that occur. And so you don't want to get to that point. So let's dive into some things that we can think about. Some may be simple, but some of those simple things are the things that you really need to do consistently. Number 1 is really being mindful of the food that you're eating. If you're sending your body into, eating a ton of sugar or flours, and you're sending your body into these crashes of sugar spikes that as you go up and then you crash down, and if you already have more than going on, that can be a lot for your body. And you might find that if you're not regulating with good, solid, nutrient-dense foods, that can become another stressor on your body, and you might seek out things that like caffeine or alcohol or other things to help to manage your stress, when really if you locked into eating a really good, solid meals, that can help to better balance your body. Number 2, again, what you think would be a simple one can be a hard one for people, which is sleep. You need that consistent sleep. You need that 7 to 8 solid hours. I know for some people it's hard to sleep. There's a lot of great techniques. Anything, we've done other videos on sleeping, and we're going to continue to do that because it's such a topic that, the principle of it is not hard, but the action steps of it can be hard. But making sure that you're, going to bed earlier. For every 2 hours that you go to bed, on average, for every hour that you go to bed before midnight, I'm thinking for a lot of people it's 9 or 10 o'clock at night, its equivalency is 2 hours better for your body than when you are sleeping after midnight. So if you go to bed at 1, you're not getting the equivalent of the quality of sleep as if you went to bed at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, something like that. So even just watching what time you're going to bed can make all the difference in the world. And even just looking around at your bedroom, do you have a lot of electronics? Are you watching programs too close to when you're going to bed? Are you making sure that your home is cool enough so that way that cooler temperature is just one simple thing that you can do to sleep better. So there's lots of different techniques that you can utilize to better sleep, but that sleep, if you have better sleep, you're just going to be better able to adapt, and chances are probably less reaction to the stressors that are going on. Number 3 is that exercise and movement. We all know we should be doing it, right? And sometimes just even getting in that motion or in that habit can be overwhelming. And so, keep it simple. If it's 3-4 blocks down and back after supper, do it for 10 days consistently. That might lead to a little longer or a little further, but getting that movement or thinking back to what are the things I enjoy? Do I enjoy biking or hiking? Setting that into what we like to call a non-negotiable, that it's on your calendar. Tuesday, Thursday nights, I go on a bike ride after work. Whatever that is, getting into a consistent routine, because that exercises just changes the chemistry and the physiology of your body and can just help to get you more grounded. The next one are strategies. And so that might be anything from breathing, even just the simple slow breaths in and slow breaths out. We've done videos on breathing before, but one of my favorite ones is to inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, and then exhale for 8. That can get your body to be more relaxed. Things like yoga, meditation, gratitude, at night, writing or journaling or saying to your partner, your loved one, what are 3 things that you're grateful for? That can just help to give you perspective on all the wonderful things that are going on in your life. The last piece, I always have to talk about chiropractic. That's what I do for a living. I could go on and on about how stress plays out into the nervous system. And when your body's overwhelmed, the nervous system is really that regulator that is going to have the challenges. If it's the nerves that go to your heart or your digestive system, maybe those, the tension that's in your body. Certainly when people are under more stress, begins to change the physiology of their body, and the nervous system is what looks at everything. So I just encourage you, take some of these tips, find some others that work for you, but really create that routine that you can get yourself into, so that way the less you have in that bucket like I described, the better that you can adapt. We'll see you next time.